All right, so let's dive into a world that seems to be sparking a ton of questions from you all in network marketing.
Yeah.
And you're really interested in figuring out how to tell the difference between a real business opportunity and a pyramid scheme.
Mm.
It's a question that seems to trip a lot of people up.
Yeah.
So whether you're actually thinking about joining a network marketing company or you're just curious about how it all works,
Right.
we're here to kind of give you a framework for how to think about it and how to evaluate
Absolutely.
its opportunities.
Yeah. And to really put this framework to the test, we're going to dissect a real-world example called the leading edge compensation plan.
Oh, okay.
And this one kind of comes up a lot as being ethical and sustainable, so we're going to see if that's true.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So to start out, let's
Yeah.
just kind of clear the air about what exactly makes something a pyramid scheme.
Sure.
I know that gets thrown around a lot,
Yeah.
but like what's the actual legal definition we should be looking at?
So legally speaking, a pyramid scheme basically means that your income is derived solely from recruiting others into the business opportunity
Okay.
and not from the sale of actual products or services.
Got it.
So it's this classic kind of pay-to-play setup where people get in early and they profit
Yeah.
from the people that come in later.
So it's kind of like those chain letters where everybody's chasing after this idea of getting rich,
Yes.
but it all falls apart when you run out of people to recruit.
You got it. That's a great analogy.
Okay.
So pyramid schemes really are all about that unsustainable recruitment. And as you point out, they inevitably collapse,
Right.
leaving lots of financial damage, which is precisely why they are illegal and why there are ethical concerns.
Okay, so pyramid schemes, bad news.
Yes.
But then there's like the legitimate side of network marketing.
Right.
So what's the core difference there?
The core difference is that with legitimate network marketing, your income is directly tied to the sale of tangible products or
Okay.
services to real customers. Think of it kind of like franchises.
Okay.
So you're selling
Right.
real products
Mhm.
and the opportunity to build a team
Yeah.
and earn commissions on their sales is just kind of an added product.
Right. So it's more about running your own mini business, but having the backing of a larger company to
Yeah.
give you the products.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it offers flexibility and the potential for good income. But it's important to remember, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Mhm.
This requires the same effort, skills, and resilience as any other business.
And I think you bring up a good point about the effort, because I think one of the things that confuses people is they see like the pyramid structure
Yes.
of network marketing and they just think
Right.
pyramid scheme. But you're saying that the structure isn't the issue, it's where the money's coming from.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
a lot of traditional businesses have a pyramid structure too.
Yeah.
Think about your typical corporate hierarchy.
Right.
The real defining factor is the source of the income. So in legitimate network marketing, it should be predominantly from product sales,
Okay.
not just recruiting people underneath you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned we'd be analyzing the leading edge compensation plan as a case study.
Yes.
And this is one that is claiming to be ethical and compliant.
Right.
So what are some initial things that kind of stand out to you about this plan?
Well, one thing that jumps out right away is that there's no requirement to purchase products to advance in the plan.
Okay.
You don't have to stockpile inventory
Got it.
or buy your way up the ladder.
So they're putting the focus on actually selling and building a customer base,
Exactly.
not just recruiting a downline.
That's right.
Okay, I'm already starting to see how that might contrast with a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
So tell me more about it.
So they built in multiple income streams for their associates,
Okay.
including retail profits, director bonuses, and commissions.
Okay.
But what's key here is that all of these are tied to actual product sales.
So you only earn money by moving product,
That's right.
not simply by getting people to sign up.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm curious, how do these different income streams actually work?
So for starters, you have the basic retail profit, which is the difference between the wholesale price you pay
Mm-hmm.
and the retail price you sell at.
Okay.
Then there are director bonuses, which are earned based on both your personal sales and the sales volume of your team.
Okay, so you're rewarded for your individual efforts, but also for building a successful team.
That's correct.
Okay, what about commissions? How do those factor in?
You earn commissions on every product sale you make.
Okay.
And there are no quotas or minimum purchase requirements to worry about.
Okay.
It's really designed to be flexible and directly reward your effort.
That sounds encouraging,
Yeah.
especially for somebody who might be worried about being pressured to buy tons of product themselves.
Right.
But what about the concern that, early birds might have an advantage?
That's a great question. And it's one that the leading edge compensation plan addresses head-on with its focus on equal opportunity.
Okay.
Essentially, everyone earns the same retail profit and bonuses for the same sales volume, regardless of their position or when they joined.
So there's no inherent benefit to just like recruiting a massive team early on.
Exactly.
You actually have to be out there selling to make any real money.
You got it.
This is getting interesting.
It levels the playing field and makes success dependent on your work ethic and sales ability, not just on who you know or when you signed up.
Okay, so based on what we've seen so far, does this compensation plan seem to align with like the principles of legitimate network marketing?
Yeah.
Or are there red flags that kind of make it look more like a pyramid scheme?
From what we've discussed, it seems to be structured in a way that emphasizes compliance and ethical practices.
Okay.
The fact that they explicitly state that associates are not paid for simply enrolling others and that all earnings must come from product sales is a significant point in their favor.
And they mentioned it's been operating for over 20 years in over 100 countries, which suggests a level of stability and global compliance that you wouldn't typically see in a fly-by-night pyramid scheme.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
While we would need to look further into those specific regulations to get the full picture, that longevity and global reach are definitely positive indicators.
Okay, so it seems like the structure itself is trying to avoid those classic pyramid scheme traps.
Yeah.
But even if something is legally sound, that doesn't automatically guarantee success, right?
You hit the nail on the head. This is still a business.
Right.
At the end of the day, and like any business, success requires effort, skill building, and the ability to bounce back from challenges.
Right.
You can't just coast on the legality of the compensation plan alone.
So let's say you were seriously considering this opportunity. What are some additional factors you'd need to be thinking about?
You'd absolutely need to factor in your own market.
Yeah.
Your knowledge of the products, your sales skills, and how much effort you're willing to put in.
So even if the plan itself is solid, your individual success is going to hinge on your ability to actually sell and build a customer base?
Precisely. It's about assessing the whole picture.
Okay.
The products themselves, the company's reputation, the training and support they offer, and your own strengths and weaknesses as an entrepreneur.
This has been really insightful.
Yeah.
We've already covered a lot of ground
We have.
in understanding the key differences between legitimate network marketing and pyramid schemes. And we've started to kind of unpack this leading edge compensation plan.
We have.
But I get the sense there's still a lot more to explore.
You're right. We still need to dig deeper into the nuances of compliance, discuss potential red flags,
Yeah.
even within a legitimate structure, and ultimately equip you with the knowledge to make the best decision for your own situation.
Awesome. So we'll be back soon with part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll continue to unpack all these critical aspects of network marketing.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back.
Picking up right where we left off, trying to give you guys the knowledge to navigate this world of network marketing and hopefully make smart decisions.
And as promised, we're going to explore the compliance side in more detail.
Okay, so that feels particularly important because, even if a plan on paper looks good, there's so much potential for things to go wrong. So
Yes.
even with a plan like the one we've been discussing, what are some of the red flags to kind of watch out for in terms of compliance?
So the first thing you always want to look for is a clear, transparent compensation plan
Okay.
that explicitly links income to product sales and not just recruitment.
And that's something that the leading edge compensation plans seem to do well.
Right.
They were very upfront about earnings being tied to selling products, not just signing people up.
Exactly. But it's not enough for a company to just say it.
Right.
You want to see proof
Okay.
that this principle is actually being put into practice. So look for testimonials from distributors who are succeeding through genuine sales strategies and strong customer relationships.
So not just stories about getting rich by building a huge team,
Right.
but real examples of people building businesses by understanding customer needs and offering valuable products.
Exactly. You also want to see evidence that the company prioritizes ethical behavior
Okay.
and compliance with regulations. So do they have a solid training program
Okay.
that teaches distributors about legal and ethical selling practices? Do they have a clear code of conduct that outlines what's off limits,
Okay.
like making exaggerated income claims or pressuring people to join?
So you mentioned these global regulations earlier. Like,
Yeah.
how can somebody actually research that to see if a company is genuinely compliant?
Yeah, so that's where a little bit of digging comes in handy.
Okay.
Most countries have regulatory bodies that oversee direct selling and network marketing.
Okay.
For example, in the United States, there's the Direct Selling Association, DSA. And in Europe, there's the European Direct Selling Association, CELDIA.
Okay.
And these organizations have codes of ethics and guidelines that their members must follow.
So like checking if a company is a member in good standing with these organizations is a good first step.
Absolutely.
Can you actually go to their websites and look up a company?
You can.
Or even contact them directly?
Absolutely. Don't hesitate to reach out to these regulatory bodies if you have any concerns.
Okay.
Their job is to protect consumers and ensure fair business practices.
That's good to know.
So, for instance, you can go to the DSA website and search their member directory,
Okay.
or even file a complaint if you believe a company is engaging in unethical behavior.
That's empowering to know.
Yeah,
Having those resources can really help you make those informed decisions.
absolutely.
But let's say a company ticks all the boxes so far.
Hmm.
Transparent compensation plan, ethical guidelines, good standing with regulators.
Right.
Are there still potential pitfalls to watch out for?
You're right to be cautious, even when things seem to be in order.
Okay.
One common pitfall, even in a legitimate structure, is the pressure to constantly recruit new members.
Okay.
Even if the compensation plan doesn't explicitly prioritize recruitment over sales,
Right.
there might be an unspoken culture within the organization that pushes building a massive downline as the key to success.
So even if it's technically possible to earn money just through selling products,
Right.
the reality on the ground might be that everybody is focused on recruitment because that's how they see other people
That's right.
making it.
You need to be aware of this dynamic
Okay.
and carefully evaluate the company culture and messaging.
Okay.
Do they emphasize sales skills, training, and support, or is it all about building a giant team?
Okay.
Do they celebrate individual sales achievements, or is the focus solely on who's recruited the most people?
It's like a subtle but really important distinction.
Exactly.
It's about looking beyond the formal compensation plan and really getting a sense of the unwritten rules
Yeah.
and values that are driving behavior.
You got it. Another potential issue to be wary of is a focus on personal consumption
Okay.
over actual customer acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So in some network marketing companies, there's heavy emphasis on distributors buying products themselves, either to meet quotas or qualify for incentives.
So even if the plan technically rewards sales, if a big chunk of those sales are going to the distributors themselves,
Right.
that's not really a sustainable business model.
Not at all. It
Yeah.
creates this artificial demand and can result in distributors ending up with stockpiles of products they can't sell.
Right.
So you want to see a company that prioritizes building a genuine customer base
Okay.
outside of its own distributor network.
So we've talked about the importance of a transparent compensation plan,
Right.
ethical guidelines, compliance with regulations,
Yeah.
and we've kind of touched on these red flags like overemphasis on recruitment and a focus on personal consumption rather than real customer acquisition.
Right. And I think it's important to remember that even within a legitimate network marketing opportunity,
Yeah.
there are no guarantees of success.
Right.
It takes hard work, dedication, and genuine passion for the products or services you're offering.
It sounds like it's really crucial to approach network marketing with the same mindset you would bring to any other business venture.
Absolutely. And going in with realistic expectations is key.
Yeah.
Don't be swayed by promises of overnight riches or a dream lifestyle.
Right.
Focus on the fundamentals of building a solid business that provides value to customers.
Okay, so that's a great segue, I think, into the next part of our conversation,
Right.
which is how to actually evaluate a specific network marketing opportunity and make an informed decision based on your own goals and circumstances.
Yeah, we've laid a good foundation by discussing the key principles and potential pitfalls.
Yeah.
Now it's time to apply that knowledge to real-world scenarios.
So stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll put all the pieces together and equip you with the tools to confidently evaluate any network marketing opportunity that comes your way. Okay, so we're back for the final part of this deep dive into network marketing. And we've covered a lot.
Yes.
Understanding, how to spot a pyramid scheme.
Right.
We dissected a real-world compensation plan.
Mm-hmm.
But now, let's just say you're presented with a network marketing opportunity, like out in the real world.
Okay.
What are some of the key questions that you should be asking yourself to figure out if this is the right opportunity for you?
So the first question I would ask myself is, what are the products or services?
Okay.
Are they something you genuinely believe in?
Okay.
Are they high quality?
Mm-hmm.
And importantly, is there a real demand for them in the market?
Right. So it makes sense you wouldn't want to be selling something that you wouldn't use yourself or
Yeah.
something that seemed overpriced or...
Exactly.
Okay.
You want to feel confident and passionate about what you're representing.
Right.
That authenticity will really come through when you're talking to potential customers.
Okay, so let's say the products check out.
Okay.
What's the next step in evaluating this opportunity?
Next, I would take a deep dive into that compensation plan. We've talked about the importance of transparency and a focus on product sales.
Right.
But you also need to understand the nitty-gritty details of how commissions are earned, what the different levels of achievement are,
Okay.
and what kind of support the company provides.
So not just like skimming the surface, but really getting into
Absolutely.
how the money-making part of it works.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask the tough questions.
Okay.
How much of your income will likely come from retail sales versus team commissions?
Okay.
What are the average earnings for people at different levels? What are the startup costs?
Right.
And what kind of ongoing expenses can you expect?
It seems like it's important to think about your own financial goals.
Right.
And your own risk tolerance.
Absolutely.
Even if the plan itself seems good.
Yeah. And speaking of risk tolerance, another question is,
Okay.
what's the company's track record?
Okay.
How long have they been around? Have they had any legal or ethical issues in the past? Do they have a solid reputation in the industry?
Great. So it's kind of like doing your due diligence.
Yeah,
Just as you would with any other business investment.
exactly.
Okay.
Look for signs of stability and longevity.
Okay.
Read reviews from both distributors and customers. Get a feel for the company, culture, and values.
Okay, so we've talked about the products,
Right.
the compensation plan, the company's track record.
Yep.
What other factors should we be thinking about?
This is where things get a little bit more personal.
Okay.
You need to ask yourself, do I have the skills and personality for this type of business?
Okay.
Network marketing requires strong people skills, self-motivation, and a willingness to kind of put yourself out there.
It's like you're essentially building your own brand
That's right.
and your own network, and that might not be the right fit for everybody.
Absolutely. Some people flourish in this kind of entrepreneurial environment, while others might find it overwhelming. It's important to be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses.
And I imagine it also depends on the specific opportunity as well.
Right.
Like some of them involve a lot of face-to-face interaction, while others could be more focused online.
You're right. Think about the time commitment,
Okay.
the marketing strategies involved, and the level of support and training offered.
Okay.
Make sure it aligns with your lifestyle and preferences.
Okay, so looking back, I guess, on everything we've talked about over these last three parts, we've learned how to identify a pyramid scheme. We dissected a real-world compensation plan.
Yeah.
And then we talked about all these essential questions to ask when you're evaluating an opportunity.
We did, and I think the biggest takeaway is that knowledge is power.
Yeah.
By arming yourself with information, you can make smart choices
Yeah.
and avoid potential traps.
Definitely. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Do your research.
Yeah.
Trust your gut.
If something feels off, it probably is.
Absolutely.
And remember, even in legitimate network marketing, success isn't a given.
Right.
It takes hard work, dedication, and genuine passion for what you're doing.
Well said. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of network marketing.
You're welcome.
We hope you found it informative and helpful in making your own decisions.
I hope so.
And until next time,
Yeah.
keep diving deep.